Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a lockdown Saturday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across back to the US again. And of course, we're heading to Northern Colorado. And of course, speaking with the Northern Colorado women's basketball team, which their season for the 2021-22 season is getting underway in a couple of weeks. And of course, we've got two very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about how it's been in preparation for the upcoming season. Thanks both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Well, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position you're hoping to play once the season starts in a couple of weeks.
My name is Zoe. I'm hoping to play a forward or center position for the team.
I'm Emmy, and I also am hoping to play forward or center this year.
So how's the preparations been like for the upcoming season?
Been busy. We've been putting in a lot of plays and a lot of new offenses. We've been doing a lot of teaching. Yeah, it's been pretty hectic, but I'm excited.
And is there any expectations on this team going into the upcoming season?
I mean, I think we all want to win. We're all pretty new to the team and everything, but we have an awesome culture that we've already started to build. So we're just hoping to build on that and
yeah,
together.
We have new coaches, I think it's 7 or 8 new girls on the team, and about 6 or 7 returning players. So don't really know what exactly to expect, but hoping for the best.
You mentioned, considering this is a pretty brand new team with a brand new coaching staff as well. What have you learned from each other?
We're learning a lot about how each other plays. Like, I think just learning each other's tendencies and how to work off each other. We all come from, I guess, different basketball backgrounds, so there's a lot of little stuff that we're learning from each other. But
I would agree with that. I think it's a lot of just learning how each other plays, since the majority of us have never played together before.
Yeah.
And do you have specific goals for both of you, personally, in regards to what you want to take out of this season?
Obviously, we want to win. We've been talking with our coaches about individual goals, like field goal percentages and free throw percentages, as well as rebounds per game, that sort of thing. So
definitely just trying to be not only great players but also great teammates.
Tell us a bit about your amazing coaches there at Northern Colorado, and what have you learnt from them?
A lot, actually. I'm having to relearn a lot of stuff that I've been taught. It's just a different level of basketball that they're coaching. Yeah, it's just a whole different point of view, I guess, having new coaches. So
we're definitely really lucky. Our head coach, Coach Matteo, really knows what she's doing, and just has so much knowledge of the game. And not only are they great on the court, but they really care about us off the court. And that's almost as important, because if we're mentally not there, then we can't physically perform either. So
I guess on top of that as well, tell us about a couple of players in your team that we should watch out for when we watch your games back here in Australia.
Ooh.
I would say Hannah Cemental. She's a sophomore. At one point, she was number 3 in the nation for 3-pointers last year. And also Alexis Chapman, because she's been on the team since
our freshman year. It's
so
probably been 5 years now.
Yeah. So her, and then
she made the Big Sky, the conference 3rd team or something.
Yeah.
Junior year.
So. I think so.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We have a lot of great talent.
I think so too. A lot of us are kind of at the same level where we could all make an impact for the team. So it'll be interesting.
And why did both of you choose Northern Colorado?
Well, for me, I initially committed. So the coaches came from a school in Texas, called West Texas. I initially committed there with those coaches, and then they told me that they were moving to this school, and they offered if I wanted to follow, and I said, yeah, I'll come. So mostly the coaches.
For me, I was actually committed to the old coaching staff here, but I was able to visit before everything kind of happened with COVID, and I just love the culture of the school. And so when the coaching shift happened, I just decided to have faith that it was going to work out, and I think it definitely has.
Zoe, I'm intrigued that you mentioned that you originally were going to go to Texas, but obviously now you're at Colorado because of the coaching staff. What struck you with the coaching staff that made you follow them from when they're obviously moving from Texas to Colorado?
I think their intensity and just their winning mindset, I think, really won me over. They just are really smart, and they know a lot about basketball, basically. And they care about me too. Like, they really made sure I felt, on my visit to West Texas, they made sure I felt comfortable, and like they were really accommodating. So I think that helped as well.
I rarely ask this question, but I'm going to ask both of you this question now, which is how special is to play with each other on the same team, and what have both of you learnt from each other?
How special? That's pretty special.
I mean, for me, so there's only 2 freshmen on the team this year, myself being one of them, and I had the pleasure this summer, me and Zoe were together for a little bit, and so I'm definitely from her. I'm learning, like, she's very patient with me, which is really nice, because like picking up all the plays and trying to make that transition from high school to college is just so immense. So just having Zoe there, like in my corner, knowing that she's there to support me is really helpful, and like knowing like be like, hey, will you help me walk through some plays today, just so that I'm understanding them, has been awesome.
Yeah, and I think for me, like taking on a leadership role is different. I'm not really used to it, but I'm still learning, and I think it's kind of a growth thing, I guess. Yeah.
I'm interested for the fact that both of you have been working out with each other during this preseason. So how has that been like?
Rough.
Yeah, definitely rough.
It's good though. I mean, it's challenging. It's more challenging than I've ever been challenged. We did a lot of running preseason to get in shape, and just taught me really how to push past kind of the point of exhaustion and just keep going, and mentally as well, like just trying to push through.
And we've definitely like we're lift partners a lot as well, so definitely like cheering each other on, as well as the rest of our team, it's just a good way to bond when you're going through the hardest times. Having people there to support you and like pick you up is awesome.
Let's talk a bit about your basketball journey. Where did it all start, and why did you choose it?
It started, I think my dad played. He played in the QBL league for a long time, and I was always there, like just watching his games and watching him play, and sometimes I would go to the trainings and stuff. So he kind of introduced me to basketball from when I was 8 or so. I started playing in a little junior league. And since then, I've just been continuing to improve and just go from there, I guess.
For me, I think I started playing like we had mini hoopers back home for me, and it was like you were 5 with just going around all, like we had all these little wristbands, they like matched up, and so I started playing then, and then I was always just taller than everybody else, and so it was kind of, and my dad also played basketball, but originally it was kind of a competition because he got cut his senior year, and so I just wanted to like beat him in that. And so it was just kind of like an expectation that me and my siblings are all going to play sports, but basketball just kind of picked me, I think, because I was just taller than everybody else and was better at it, and it just came naturally. And I wanted to beat my dad at something. So, Zoe,
I need to ask you this. I'm assuming you're from Queensland when you just mentioned about QBL just a moment ago, which is now turning to NBL 1, North Conference. You might as well give your local association a bit of a shout out back home.
USC, University of Sunshine Coast. giving you guys a shout out. Hey. They're an awesome club. I mean, I think I started playing them in under 14s, and they've just been really welcoming. I've switched clubs in between then, but at the moment that's my home club. So
And how good will it be to eventually come up against a couple of Aussie players when you verse them throughout the conference season?
it'll be good. It'll be interesting. It's kind of just crazy how everything works out and how like basketball can take you to such amazing places and then bring you back, I guess. So it'll be good.
If you had a preferred position where you like to try to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be?
I'd like to be a spot up shooter. Just stand there and shoot. Come off screens and shoot.
I like being a forward, honestly. Getting to run the floor and kind of have those plays that kind of gets everybody off the bench a little bit is really fun. And I wish I was a little bit more of a shooter too, but
It's just a lot of fun when you make a shot and get everyone hype and
or like make that last
the
shot.
buzzer beater, you know.
Zoe's a great shooter though. Don't let her. She's an awesome shooter.
Not consistent, but
You're good, though.
getting there.
And what would be some highlights throughout both your basketball journey so far?
I have one that comes to mind, but I'm still like, obviously I'm just coming out of high school. And we had this rivalry with one of the schools back home, and we were able to destroy their 83-game winning streak. Because they had never lost since they joined our conference. And so we were able to beat them. And I just, like that game, I just remember so vividly was our youth night. So we would bring all of the younger girls to the game, and the atmosphere is just insane. And we came back from like 13 down and were able to beat them. And it was just, I think that's probably one of the most memorable games I've ever played.
For me, it would probably be breaking the block record at my old school. I think I had 7 blocks one game, and then I ended up for my 4 years there, I ended up having, I think it was like 117 or something total blocks, and so I got that record for the school, and now I'm etched in there forever, I guess.
So you don't think anyone's going to beat your blocking record?
I actually do think there's a girl that's a year younger than me. She's 6'4", and she's really good at blocking as well. So I don't know if I'll have the record for long, but we'll see.
Emilia, I need to ask you this question because you're actually from Oregon. There at Wilsonville. I guess any similarities from home to where you are now in Northern Colorado?
Actually, yeah, Colorado and Oregon are very similar in the fact that there's so much nature around us and you can really see a lot. Like, obviously there's the mountains and everything. I would say Oregon's a little bit greener than Colorado.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more rain there than there is here. But I mean, people are pretty similar, which is cool and interesting. Because they like people are pretty kind in both places, and you definitely have. I guess it's like any place. There's interesting stories everywhere and a lot to learn. So.
What does the sport of basketball mean to both of you, and especially being there at Northern Colorado?
Well, basketball has been such a big part of my life for a very long time. It's given me amazing opportunities, like to get an education in itself is pretty great. It's also given me a sense of like belonging. Like these guys are kind of my family, you know, my home away from home. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was always just a way to get out and be active and socialize and everything, and get the competitiveness out a little bit, and like meet so many incredible people. Like Zoe said, like in such a short time, you could become so close with people, and like I can already see all of these girls being at my wedding one day. So it's like you just become like you just have a family, no matter where you go. So.
Do both of you have any short and long-term goals in the sport of basketball?
Short term would just be to make an impact, to win as a team, hopefully win the conference. Long term, I want to play in the NBL one when I get back home, but after that, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep pursuing basketball. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, I really want to just make as big of an impact as I can while I'm in college and I'm here. Now I definitely long term, hopefully get into some of the record books. And short term I would love to make it to the NCAA tournament. I think that, like, especially last year with everything that happened on the women's side, I think making it this year would just be incredible.
And what would be your advice to people that should get involved in basketball back home?
I would just say believe in yourself and just go for it, because I mean, there's really no limit to what you can do as long as you put your mind to it and just work hard, and good things will follow.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard is definitely, I mean, that's, I think, one of the most important things you can think about, and that if you really want something, the work that you put in is going to allow you to achieve your goals. And basketball is a great way to meet people and just become a part of something. And yeah.
So, Emilia, I'm going to ask you this question. Now, considering you are from Oregon, have you convinced Zoe to, join you back at Oregon during, the off season or the breaks?
We haven't had that conversation yet, but I am trying to get some of the girls to come home. We actually have a teammate, JC, who is also a grad transfer this year, and I watched her because she went to Portland, University of Portland, and so I watched her play throughout my high school years in college, while she was in college, and so I'm really trying to get her to come with me and bring some of the girls around and sightsee. And we actually play Portland State February 3rd. So I'm super excited for that game because my home club, my high school, and a bunch of my friends from back home are going to be at that game. So I'm hoping I get to show the team around a little bit when we go there. So fingers crossed that the coaches let us. But yeah, I'm trying to get some. I'm definitely bragging about it a little bit. But
okay, I need to ask you this as a follow-up then. So are you determined to, beat Portland State on February 13 on your, when you return home?
Of course. I mean, who wouldn't want to be there? That's also, it's where my dad went to school and my brother. So I really want to beat their alma mater as well. So, and just to kind of have my home crowd there would be awesome to win in front of. So, and one of my old club teammates is also on that team. So I want to beat her as well. Even though I love her, but I want to beat her. So.
Any embarrassing moments during preseason by anyone on the team?
We were just talking about this. Emmy has a tendency to trip over. We'll be doing sprints and she'll fall over when we're turning but I mean, we got new shoes too, and they were really grippy. So in her defense, she wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't the only one.
I am not the most graceful person, which is ironic because my middle name is Grace. But I'm usually the one that embarrasses himself. I'm gonna be completely honest. I fall a lot. I rolled my ankle warming up. So there's a lot of embarrassing moments.
And any comedians, good singers and dancers in the team?
Comedians, I would say Lex. She loves to make jokes.
Or Avery. Avery's pretty funny too.
I feel like we all like to, crack a joke here and there, but
We make fun of accents a lot.
yeah.
So Zoe doesn't get it as bad, but
I was going to get to this. I'm going to get to that in a minute.
And then, but yeah, so we make fun of
Avery.
Avery a lot because she's from Texas.
She has
so
a
she has
thick accent.
super thick accent. And then we have Bean, who's from Latvia, so we make fun of her a little bit for her accent as well. And then dancer would be Callie.
She
loves to dance. She's
Line
taught
dancing.
almost all of us how to line dance. So definitely her.
Yeah.
I don't know about singer though.
Singer. Well, we do karaoke sometimes in the weekend, and I feel like Allie. Well, I don't know. None of us are really good singers, so
We try.
Yeah, we try.
Perfect segue. I'm glad you mentioned about accents a moment ago. So Zoe, I need to ask you this question firstly. Now,
Yes.
has any of your teammates tried to put the Aussie accent, and how's that traveling?
Well, I don't really think so, but they make fun of words that I say. Like I'll say tuna, and they'll say tuna, or every time I say no or like go, they'll make fun of me. So, but I don't think they've ever actually like tried to
Not yet.
fully like do an accent.
I feel like that's more stuff that'll happen in like the van rides.
Yeah, on road trips.
Zoe, have you tried to put the American accent, and how's that traveling?
I can do it a little bit, but it depends. There's just so many different accents, I feel like, in America that there's just too many. I can do a pretty good country accent, but I'm not gonna say it.
Have you tried to put, have you tried to convince any of your teammates to join you back in Australia in the off season?
We always talk about it, I think, but realistically, I mean, it would depend on if the borders open up and if they start actually like letting international travel. But I think a lot of people want to at least visit.
I want to go to Australia.
Yeah,
that's definitely on my bucket list.
I've told them, you can always stay with me and we can do stuff. I'll show you around.
I guess, do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I like to take a nap, like a power nap, usually 20-30 minutes, but yeah, gotta get my sleep in.
I do breathing exercises just to kind of calm my mind and my body before I go into games, because you get really anxious before games, and so just letting yourself kind of have a moment to like think about it and relax is good.
Yeah.
This particular one goes to you. Have you convinced any of your teammates that we have kangaroos as pets?
Do you feel convinced?
No, because I know that aren't they an invasive species? Or are they like, don't they like overrun the country?
No, they've asked me if we ride kangaroos to school, and I said no. No, I tell them that they're kind of just like the deer out here. Like, you see them sometimes on the side of the road if you're in like a rural area, but haven't convinced them yet.
I feel like I would be the one that would be the easiest.
Oh, well, both of you, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having both of you on the show. Please send our best wishes to your teammates for us, and let's hope it all starts well for the season there at Northern Colorado, and especially once the Big Sky Conference season gets underway late December to early January, and can't wait to see how this team goes throughout the 21-22 season.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
No worries. And of course, if you want to follow the Northern Colorado women's basketball team throughout the season, we'll put all the details up on their schedule once the season gets underway. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.